Hello and welcome to HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, July 3rd, 2024. Yes, we're already in July. And tomorrow is the 4th of July. So I hope you guys have a safe one and celebrate responsibly. Anyway, we have a few things to talk about, so let's get started. Unseen photos of Tasmanian tigers spark more to be discovered. There are over 100 photos of Tasmanian seen by the public. Some have fueled unfounded myths about the species' behavior. Now, these are genuine photos, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. These are not the fake photos that recently surfaced, the ones of the model of a Tasmanian tiger. Now, here's a rare one from 1918, Bowman's Zoo. No, Beaumaris Zoo. My mistake. And this is a photo from a private collection. There's two of them. Look at this. Two Tasmanians. Most Aussies are aware of iconic footage showing the world's last Tasmanian tiger pacing and opening its jaws in cage, but rare photographs reveal the long-extinct marsupials in a more delicate light. One image from a private collection, which Yahoo News has published with permission, shows two lounging side by side in the sun. The original photograph, which measures just 8.9 centimeters by 8.9 centimeters, was taken at Beaumaris Zoo in 1918. It was quietly published for the first time just 4 years ago, after it was purchased at 2004. And other than a few tiger enthusiasts, few people have been aware of its existence. When it was shared to an online naturalists forum in June, along with several other generally unknown photos taken in overseas zoos, they created a stir. So good to see a photo of two together. I am haunted by those photos of one pacing up and down, one respondent wrote. This makes me unbearably sad. Look at the magnificent things snuggled up together, another said. How wonderful that there are still images that we haven't seen, someone else added. So I think it's really cool that they got that photograph way back then. Here's another photograph of three of them. And yet another photograph. So I like to see these photos, these older photos of Tasmanian tigers, but we still don't know if they actually still exist or not. Yes, I've reported about alleged photos and alleged videos here. But those could be AI for all we know. We really don't know for sure. Be interesting if they were still around, though. Now, here is now way out of place. Exotic animal native to Central and South America spotted at Yakima rest stop, Portland, Oregon. An exotic mammal native to Central and South America somehow ended up on the streets of the Pacific Northwest. On Sunday, June 23rd, a kikaju, an animal in the same family as raccoons, was spotted in the Sela Creek Rest area in Yakima, Washington. State Department of Transportation's Eastern Office said the creature was rescued by the State Fish and Wildlife Department, but officials still aren't sure whether it escaped or was abandoned. I think this is a photo of the creature. The kikaju is now being held at Tacoma's Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium, where staff quarantined it so veterinarians can conduct a comprehensive wellness exam. This young kikaju's survival is a testament to the collaborative efforts of state wildlife law enforcement and the zoo, highlighting the dangers of the illegal pet trade, a zoo spokesperson wrote on Facebook. While kikajus are not endangered, they are hunted for fur, meat, and the exotic pet trade, threatening their wild population. So, where did this thing come from? Was it an escapee from a zoo? Was it from a collection, perhaps? What are the laws on keeping this type of animal in Washington State? Are there laws against or for keeping an animal like this in captivity or in a private collection in like a wildlife preserve? That's an excellent question. If anybody knows the answer, let me know in the comments below. Oklahoma Sasquatch summoning killer sentenced to life at fiery hearing. An Oklahoma man found guilty of murdering his friend out of fear that he was being sent up for a Sasquatch sacrifice was sentenced to life without the possibility of a rather fiery hearing this week. Larry Sanders spawned worldwide headlines back in July of 2022 when he killed his fishing buddy Jimmy Knighton and then told police that he did so because he believed that the victim had summoned Bigfoot to eat him. At an equally weird trial this past April, he continued to insist that there were 3 Bigfoot at the scene of the crime and was subsequently found guilty. On Tuesday, Sanders finally learned his fate in a sentencing hearing that was decidedly on brand for the strange Sasquatch case. During the proceedings, Sanders reportedly remained steadfast in his account of the deadly event and declared that a higher power and ancient influences were why he was found guilty. He also insisted that Knighton was a victim of his own actions by way of the alleged Bigfoot summoning that ultimately led to his death. The hearing then got heated when prosecutor Tara Portillo put forward the state's argument for sentencing and, in the process, read several tweets about the curious case. This led to Sanders erupting, "What does that have to do with anything?" followed by an expletive, and "I don't want to hear any of this. This is ignorant." Well, I've been reporting on this case for a while now, and I'm glad the guy was sentenced to life without parole. I mean, it's just a crazy story. It really is. It's nuts. Oh, there's some people in this world, my goodness. Finally, Littlefoot from Strange Reality. This is a French, but you can translate it to English, a French blog about various cryptids. Littlefoot. Dear readers of Strange Reality, Littlefoot terminology refers to 2 very distinct entities in current research on hominids. On the one hand, since 2007, it refers to a fossil of Australopithecus prometheus, discovered by Ronald J. Clark, and named so because of the very small size of his left foot. On the other hand, this term is reserved on North American soil for little mythical people, in some way to the anti-Bigfoot on their side of shadow. If one is large, the other is small. If one is hairy, the other is glabrous. If one is red, the other is dark. If one is solitary, the other is community. When once taken stock of both the South African issue and the Bigfoot, this time go to meet his little-known little cousin, Littlefoot, also sometimes called Little People, by studying the mysterious North American pygmy affairs. Now, my question is, are these little people hairy or are they smooth-skinned? I don't know. I think some of them may be smooth-skinned, but there may be some hairy ones as well. The hairy ones would be the ones I'd be concerned about. But are they children Sasquatch? Or are they indeed shorter creatures? You don't hear too much of those types of Sasquatch and those types of hairy hominoids In the United States, you usually hear of the larger variety. And of course, we also have stuff like the Lehoa in Flores and the Ibu Gogo on the island of Flores. You read Gregory Forth's book, Between Ape and Human, about the Lehoa. Really fascinating. But I think this is more about small supposed humans than supposed hairy hominoids. Still, it's a fascinating subject. Of course, you also have the orang pendek, which is the little man in Sumatra. So but do we have that kind of species here in the United States? Or do we have small Sasquatch? Children Sasquatch? That's a question only science can answer, I think. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. I'll continue to do this as long as you guys want me to. And hey, until 2 weeks from now, y'all be good or be good at this HBM's Crypto-Corner. Oh, before I sign off, check out my latest HBM's UFO Corner about the Betty and Barney Hill incident. I think you'll find it fascinating. So again, until 2 weeks from now, y'all be good or be good at this HBM's Crypto-Corner.